Yo, welcome back everybody to another episode of the Bravo Zulu podcast, episode number 93. Today it's just me in the studio hanging out, having a little sip of some refreshing, hydrating liquid. And we're gonna be getting into a little USNI article. All right, today's article is "Serve First, Lead Second, Be Humble" by Captain Samson Stevens of the U.S. Coast Guard. What's up, U.S. Coast Guard? Patrolling the puddles, keeping us safe, making sure our boots don't get wet. Thank you for all you do. So let's get into. I kind of scanned through it a little bit, real quick. It's not too long. I'll probably make it a lot longer. And of course, it's late at night, so I'm tired. I'm yawning. I have not had a Red Bull, a Monster, a Zions, or whatever, a this, a that, nothing. So I'm just going off and I'm hiring a makeup person because I'm shiny. It is hot in this garage. Everyone likes to talk about the San Diego weather being so perfect. It's not. It's fucking hot still. Is it better than where you probably came from? Sure, maybe. It's not 120 where I come from, and it's not minus 30 where you come from with snow in the winter, but regardless, it's hot in the garage. Let's get into it. As Mark Twain often is reported having said, can't read, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So it is with leadership principles, which I can't read today, y'all, which, though timeless, frequently are reinterpreted, reinvented, personalized, and reframed. Even so, they promote unity and organizational purpose, form foundational values, and establish a common narrative and vision. Yeah, I often think that too, right? It's always the leadership stuff is always reinterpreted, reinvented, personalized to the person writing the damn book for this year, and then, reframed and sold. Okay. My own leadership philosophy is simple, but its basic themes offer a framework for discussion. I've told this story countless times and I tell it again here in hopes that it will be of value. So anyone in the Navy or anywhere, I'm sure, has heard something about being a servant leader, serving first, leading, and being humble. So it's not, again, like he said, it's not really a new take. It's just his take. In 2012, as a mid-grade commander, approached a fork of the road. With a couple more years before becoming eligible for retirement, I had had numerous discussions with family and senior leaders to help me decide between a last assignment in preparation for transition versus a challenging and uncomfortable path for which I had very little experience. Then, Rear Admiral William Dean Lee, commander at Coast Guard District 5, was one of those who spent time to provide his perspectives on career, profession, service, family, and sacrifice. I wonder what a conversation like that is, right? Sitting down with a fucking Rear Admiral and asking them. I mean, part of that you would think, being that they're Rear Admiral, they've been doing it for so long, that it's automatic given, right? That they're going to push you to go do more. You can achieve more, right? If you have that relationship with them, they're going to be thinking like, you can do it. You're built for this. Go for it. Think about your family, sure, but also look at all that's ahead for you and blah, blah, blah. Like, I would think, like, if you're having that conversation with those people at that level, your mind is already made up, right? You're not in there wasting their time. Like, hey, Admiral, I wonder what you think I should do with my career, right? You're in there having that question just because you need more assurance from those people that you're doing the right thing. I would think. I don't know, right? I don't think you're going to go in there wasting Admiral's time. Like, hey, man, you think I should stay in or get out? And he tells you all this shit, and then a year later, you're like, hey, thanks for your time, but there's the first yawn. Sorry. And you're like, yeah, I'm getting out. But the great conversation we spent those 2 hours over having, right? But I'm retiring still. Among the countless nuggets of wisdom he conveyed, what he said at the conclusion of our visit had the most impact. He asked me to look at the nameplate on his desk and tell him what it said. Admiral, it says William Dean Lee. That's right, he replied. I had that nameplate for many years, and it's always been important to me that people see my name, just my name, not a title like Admiral or a position like District Commander, but just the person. Now, Sam, please come back behind my desk and tell me what's written on the back. I wonder if, that's how he said it went down. I wonder if it goes down like I read it, right? Like, if it was that kind of awkward, like, I got you. Why don't you come back here and read it now, right? Like, people are weird. That's funny. I got up, walked around, and read what was inscribed on the back. Serve first, lead second, be humble. Sam, that's the real reason I've kept that on my desk for so many years. As a constant reminder of why I do what I do. That's wild. I have a thought, like, is that why, really? Like, I don't think when people say that, that's like actual real, right? A constant reminder of why I do what I do. Like, I mean, maybe I'm taking it too literal, right? Like, serving first, leading second, being humble. That's why you do what you do. Maybe, a lot of people say, like, the next generation, or the future sailor, or whatever branch you're in, right? A lot of those higher ups will be like, oh, it's them, it's about them and training them and getting them ready. So then why wouldn't you put on the back of your nameplate, and this isn't just as admiral, like sailor or sailors, right? That's why you do what you do. That's why you're serving first, leading second, being humble, because of the sailors. Or, as we've talked on here a lot, a picture of your family, because you need to pay the bills, and that job gets those bills paid, right? That service to your country, that first and 15th check, the promotions provide more financial stability, enabling you to take care of your family. I don't know. Why wouldn't that be on there? So, again, like, maybe what was inscribed on the back, constant reminder of why I do what I do. Maybe it's a constant reminder to how to do what you're doing. I think that fits a little bit better, right? Like, because you have your whys, and then, like, okay, enabling to take care of sailors, to provide for families, to do all that. How am I going to do that in the best situation, or the best way, enabling myself to provide for that, you know what I mean? The why, the actual why. This is more of like a how when I read this, right? How do I do this? By serving first, leading second, being humble. Why? Because Mikey wants some new Hot Wheels. Because Princess Penelope wants more princess stuff. The how, as this admiral says, serve first, lead second, be humble. Sam, that's the real reason I've kept that on my desk for, I said that. The influence this meeting had on me was profound. The event is as clear to me today as it was 10 years ago, and it became the Polaris that guided me through 4 more tours, each of which presented me with increasingly challenging and complex leadership tests. My family and I moved from the East Coast to the West, where I spent 3 years at XO. There, I'm going to skip through some of this shit because I'm tired. Excuse me. I cannot count the number of times I have intoned these 3 core elements in response to the most mundane to the most challenging leadership scenarios. And then he lists a bunch of scenarios, right? That he, I guess, as he would come across him, he'd be like, hold on, stop. I need to serve first, lead, and be humble, right? I came up with a strategic idea, not her. Who cares? How am I going to lead this command through this pandemic? And so, like, after each one of these, I would think, like, the admiral, he went back to his mantra, right? Or this, not the admiral, this is the commander or whatever, right? I worked on that stakeholder engagement plan for 6 weeks, and now it's been canceled. Hold on, serve first, lead, be humble, and then he centers himself and keeps going. With the privilege and honor to be appointed to my own command in 2020, the time came to develop the guiding principles that would characterize my leadership, team's priorities, focus, and conduct. I was unable to articulate a more compelling and succinct, that's a big word, sorry, philosophy than what Admiral Lee had offered me so many years ago. Just as he has continued to guide, mentor, and lead countless men and women since his retirement, so do the timeless principles engraved on his nameplate. All right, so what we got is Service first, or serve first. Service is not unique to the armed forces. Firefighters, law enforcement personnel, medical, health professionals, first responders, emergency managers, public servants, all serve first. What's a public servant? You talking about politicians as a public servant? You talking about my councilman, my fucking board advisor person of Chula? As some, there has to be a line in here, right? Or multiple lines that group these people together. Okay, I'm not grouping my service and sacrifice with their service and sacrifice. I'm not saying they don't serve and sacrifice. I'm saying they serve and sacrifice different shit. Okay, public servants, fucking name one, and I don't want them standing next to me. Okay, they're not the ones going out there on the fucking ship. They're not sacrificing that, right? They go downtown to your local city or whatever and the municipality and check in and check out, and that's that. Okay. I guess by definition they're serving the community, but if you look around your community, at least here, like they could be doing a hell of a lot better job, as well as most services, right? But while the ways we serve and the reasons we do it may differ, yes. Again, going back to the why, right? Not the how. The commonality is putting something or someone above self. So again, going back to some of his people that serve, this is one of the biggest things: mission, country, community, command, or organization, people, stakeholders, or partners. Like, yes, mission, right? Country. You could ask sailors all up and down the fucking fleet why they joined. They're not saying to defend their country. I've asked so many in my career, and I've only gotten the answer like 2 or 3 times, right? Maybe a little bit more. But specifically like for war to defend the country and fucking fight people, maybe a little bit more. I might be exaggerating 2 to 3, but like the standard blanket answer: to travel and to go to college, which we often say, like, well, this isn't a fucking college. If you wanted to go to college, you should have went to college because we got shit to do here, right? We got that mission to accomplish, okay? Country, community, again, public servant community shit, that's not the same. Not the same, okay? This isn't 1776 where you're joining the rebels, right? The revolution, your guerrilla warfares that are just coming, or that are just dudes off the block going to fight, right? Your militia, right? To defend your community against the redcoats. That's not that, okay? This is your community of the person that, again, goes downtown, checks in, checks out. Don't block us up in the same. That's not a hit on like dude writing it. It sounds like it, but like I'm just saying, like when I read this, that's something else. That stands apart. Command organization people, stakeholders. All right, stakeholders. Again, like, yeah, but why would, like, I think stakeholders, I'm thinking like stock people that own stock in companies. Yeah, you're serving them because you need to make them money, so your decisions are monetary based to make them money. That's not the same shit as me and everyone that I be working with. So don't fucking group us together, right? I think he could just left some of this shit out. Some of those people, right? You could have left that mission, country, command organization people. You skip the community, stakeholders, partners. Just my opinion. You watching, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Ding. A career in the armed forces is a purposeful and voluntary act, but the path is frequently challenging. Yep. Serving first demands a strong work ethic and commitment to excellence, unwavering professionalism, a constant pursuit of challenges, and willingness to embrace mistakes as a path to continual learning. What? I mean, I don't know. Serving first demands a strong. So saying serving first demands all of that. A constant pursuit of challenges. Every day's a fucking challenge. You ain't got to chase it down. The challenge is going to find you. You ain't got to chase it down. It'll be there for you. Right? I mean, That's the biggest one that sticks out there, right? Willingness to embrace mistakes, of course. Path of continual learning. Service is sustained by a desire to work collaboratively and earn and maintain the trust and confidence of those you lead. Sincere care for your people and their families creates bonds and organization esprit de corps that will withstand the most difficult challenges. Most importantly, our families also wear the cloth of our nation, and it's through them that we succeed. Yes, I always have a problem with like sincere care for your people, yes, and their families. Like, we care about their families, but how many people really care? How do you show that, right? How many people, leaders out there are constantly every day stepping out of the white ivory tower, right? Or behind the desk, getting out and like actually know their sailors, families, and what is going on with them this week or whatever, right? I think it's far and few between. And what, and the driving factor here, like that hits me is like the Chiefs are supposed to know that. The officers should know it too, but often lack further behind than the Chiefs. Not saying that the Chiefs do know it all the time either, right? I'm saying if the Chiefs know it, the officers know less. If the Chiefs know less, like know very little, the officers are going to know even less, right? So it's like, what are you as the chief and then as the officer like really going and nailing it down? Or is it like you pretend like you know because something came across an issue came across your desk, right? And from that issue, you learned. And so now you're not really tracking their family condition or status. What you're really tracking is the issue, because the issue is what's going to get you in trouble. The issue is what's going to cause more paperwork for you. So you're not tracking them or their family, right? You're tracking the issue. And it's not that issue doesn't need to be tracked and you need to help out and do your part as a servant leader part. But the family isn't really your priority. The real priority is yourself, and you're just covering it up with a real thin veil of, oh no, I really know what's going on. I got it. Like, I'm looking out for them. No, and sailors now today can tell more than fucking ever that shit is fake, and they just read through it. I would like to think I could read through that shit. Today's sailor, way better than I ever was at piercing that thin ass fucking fake veil and knowing what's up. All right. And our families also wear the cloth of the nation, and through it, then we succeed. Yes. Duh. Lead second. From the first day we pledged to support and defend the Constitution. We are leaders. And from the most junior to the most senior, we never stop being leaders. Senior to subordinate leadership is the most conventional framework and easiest to identify, but it might not always be the most effective or impactful. More often, leadership involves peer-to-peer relationships alongside our colleagues, or leading up by presenting seniors new ideas or providing them with candid feedback, or leading collaboratively within the joint and interagency operational world among those over whom we have no organizational or positional power. Well, isn't that even easier, right? When you're leading in a joint environment or an environment like that where you have no organizational or positional power, because isn't that the most humbling? Because you can't rely on, the little anchor devices or your leaf or whatever, because this shit don't matter, right? At that point, it doesn't matter. You can't throw it out there and be like, boom, big stick on the table. That's what I said. That's what's happening. Why? Everyone's going to look at you and be like, we don't do that here. Okay. That doesn't work. And then that's where, like, you often find your ass out the door doing something else because you're unable to work or lead just yourself within those interagency or joint places, right? And like, hey, I've never worked in one. You tell me if you have and what it's like. But I would imagine working in the places that I have and some close to it like that, it just doesn't work like that, right? Each of us leads by demonstrating, civil and respectful discourse, by showing moral and ethical courage, by promoting fairness and respect across diverse workforce, by ensuring accountability across our organizations and services, and by generating hope and positivity, even amid the most adverse circumstances. In other words, it's not only what we do, but how we do it. And our actions are guided by unwavering integrity and character. They hopefully will inspire crews long past our leadership assignments. Maybe. Let's see. Showing more ethical care by promoting fairness. This is like a lot of catchy, buzzy words to me in here, right? This is all right. And by generating hope and positivity, even amid the most adverse circumstances. Gut reaction. This isn't Star Wars. Okay. We don't need hope. Right? Positivity. Yeah, we'll take that all day. Junior sailors will take that all day. Right? But we don't want to hear hope. I hope we get out of here by 1400. I don't think junior sailors want to hear that shit. Hope. What? No, that's a different word. They want to just know the fucking truth. Hey, we're not leaving this bitch until 1530. Hey, it's going to be a long night. I don't know when we're going home, but we need to get the work done. There's a lot here. Here's the whole working list, and then let's see what happens. Right? They're smarter and they're more advanced than we were at their place, 15 years ago, right? Yeah, we thought, oh man, maybe it's just me too. Oh, we hoping we're about to get out of here. Maybe some of the old heads already knew that was stupid to be hoping like that. And maybe that's where I'm at now, right? It's like, you can't be hoping like that, right? Generate that hope. Man, that's like, it feels like we're telling them like, hey, we need to lie to them to generate a hope of something that still might not happen. So if we generate that hope and it doesn't happen, they're going to stop hoping. And then they're just morale done. That's where you get the well, shit, we're going to be here anyway, so might as well not do anything. Right? Hey, we're hoping to get out here if we do this and that. So, we got this in the schedule. Okay, well, since we hoping and that's what the schedule is, I guess I'll just wait till the schedule starts. Right? You put shit out in the schedule that says, hey, this starts at this time. People ain't doing it until that time. Because there's no hope in getting out of there before that. Right? They'll be like, nah, why would, you telling me we hoping on shit, but it says right here on the POD that we ain't going nowhere until this is done, and this is being done between this time and that time. So I have no hopes on getting out of here before that. And that's where you get people to come in and be like, yeah, see, that's the wrong attitude. If you would just do it, then you'd put the leadership in the position to get you out of there earlier. Then why put it in the POD at all? And why not just put it out to word of mouth that as soon as this is done and someone walks it and inspects it, we'll be done. You don't have to put it in POD. Put it in POD, sailors see it, say that's the plan. I'm not moving until that plan is executed accordingly. Each of us leads by demonstrating civil and respectful discourse. Wait, I said that. Be humble. Ooh. People's favorite one to talk about me. Ego and humility are antipodes. Podes or pods? Podes. In the spectrum of leadership. But one cannot exist without the other. Kind of like a love and marriage, right? There's a like a Easter egg for, Married with Children. Great show. Fucking Ted Bundy. Classic. Christina Applegate. Classic. Peg. Classic. Well, what was the son's name? Let me know what the son's name was in Married with Children. Let me know in the comments. All right, but ego is the source of drive, professional ambition, courage, confidence, and decisiveness. So when people say you got an ego, it sounds like it's not that bad of a thing, right? Source of drive, professional ambition, courage, confidence, decisiveness. Pretty good fucking little adjectives, if that's what they are to me, right? Maybe they're, I don't know, some other English word, I don't know, right? all good. But left unbridled, it can quickly transform into toxic, selfish, self-aggrandizing, and closed-minded behavior. Even the best leaders can forget the reasons for their service and lose sight of the people, not who serve them, but who they serve. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Right? It could get everyone. But, it goes like, even the best leaders forget the reasons for. So going back to what the Admiral said when he showed him the back of the nameplate and it said, serve first, lead, be humble. That's why he keeps doing it. Again, I disagree. That's why. It's how he keeps doing it. And I think that kind of is backed up by saying even the best leaders can forget the reasons for their service. That's the reason is the why. I think so that doesn't go with the rest of this paragraph, right? The why could be your family. The why could be the paycheck. The why could be the binnings, all that. But how you're doing that, if the ego is unbridled or left unbridled and is getting unchecked, right, and it is running amok and it's taken over, the how has been lost when you're looking at this admiral and this commander's way of how they did it, right? The serve first, lead, be humble. The how is being disrupted, not the why, not the reasons, right? You could be that toxic motherfucker, that selfish, self-aggrandizing, closed-minded behavior, and still know you're still doing it for your family, for the why, right? There's plenty of them out there. People know them, leaders that the why is to make the next rank, and they fall into this category, right? But their why is still there. Their why is still relevant to them, but the how they're doing it, it's lost, right? It's lost. And I had another thought on that, but I lost it. Oh, yo, sorry. Nope, I lost it again. There's something about like the ego part, right? It's like you can even have that ego for all those positive reasons, and then it can not mesh well or jive with other people's how and why, and it could become a problem for them. It's not a problem for you, right? Because you yourself, you have your why, you have your how, and to you they're going good, right? And I'm not saying the how has to be exactly what we're reading about, but the why and how is yours, and they mesh well and they go well together. And let's take out that it's not even toxic or anything, right? That or no one has told you that it is so far, right? So then everything, the ego and humility to you are checking out, but now it runs across somebody else's why and their how, and they don't like it, right? Because someone might be out there saying, well, my why is for defense of fucking nation and this and that, because they've been in for 20 plus years and they just love this shit and they could do it for their whole life if fucking, Uncle Sam would let them. But then you get a younger cat who's like, well, no, like that's not my why. My why is because I came from a horrible childhood. I want to go to school. This was the best chance to get benefits to go to school. This isn't for me. I don't like my rate. And then you get the old, why don't you like your fucking rate? I love our rate, right? So now you have this clashing of someone's why and how versus somebody else's. And who do you think wins that? Right? And not a win like over the other person, right? But maybe the junior person gets out and they feel like they won. And maybe that senior person feels like that person leaving is a win for them because we didn't need people like that anyways. Something to think about. The antidotes for unbridled ego are simple but require genuine vulnerability. Seek out, learn to accept, and then act on feedback derived from formal and informal mechanisms. How often do you conclude providing feedback to subordinates by seeking the same from them? At first, it might be uncomfortable, and they might even decline your invitation. But over time, candid, unvarnished feedback is the stuff of personal and professional growth. I do that. Contrary to people's beliefs. I'm often asking my sailors questions like that. What did you think about this? How when I did it this way, what did you think? How when it was handled like that, how would you have handled it? Sorry, there's a fly. Right? Because I want their feedback. I have very few sailors, but different sailors. I'm okay with them, and it's not just learning for me, it's learning for them. So when they get to the position of wherever they want to be at in this career or otherwise, they know how to give that feedback. You know what's one of the worst things is when people like fucking interview or senior people or whatever, like anyone got any questions? And 30 minutes before that person walked through that fucking door, everyone had plenty to bitch about. But now that person walks through the door and everyone wants to sit there. Oh, no, ma'am. Nope, we're good here. Everything's fine. Everything's good. We're perfect. We're very happy. I was just looking around like, y'all really ain't got, yo, hey, over there. Y'all really ain't got shit to say now? Y'all really ain't got shit to, well, hold on, because I got some shit to say. Let me raise my hand. Because I got questions. I got feedback. And if we don't teach junior workers, no matter what field you're in, right? Civilian areas, military areas, whatever, how to give that feedback, right? Smartly, respectfully, tactfully, right? But complete feedback, not just the bitching and griping, but the feedback with the solutions, the feedback with the ways forward, right? In a total picture, then they're going to be one of those people sitting in the room. Oh, no, we're all good over here. We have nothing. Shit, fuck out of here, man. Say something. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Tell you not to say anything? I don't like that question, right? Put people who write shit like this. I don't mean shit in a bad way, but serve, lead, be humble. Ask those people questions, right? Put them in the position to provide you answers. Because then you start seeing how people are really going to respond, right? How are they really concerned for your family? Like, oh man, that's a fly, man. Oh, get away! That thing big enough to eat me. All right, I got the back door open because it was hot. But over time, candidate environment feedback and professional growth. Yes, again, it's about that juniors getting that professional growth, right? Not just yourself. You teach them. Maintain intellectual curiosity. Admit knowledge. Admit when you do not know, and remember that the higher you climb the mountain of knowledge, the grander your vistas of ignorance. That's why I don't climb mountains of knowledge. I stay, like, not in the valleys, but just like on the molehills, right? Just on the little hills. You get a little bit of sight, but there's those people up there, right? I tell people all the time, I'm not the smartest LS. I might be the best, but I'm not the smartest. It's a joke, y'all. Chill out. Fuck, y'all. Can't even take a joke nowadays. Maintain intellectual curiosity. Admit when you do not know, and remember okay, I read that. Hold fast to basics such as saying please, thank you, and I'm sorry. Those are called the basics of manners and treating other people with respect. Like, fuck, man, you don't got that shit. You might need to move back into your mom and dad's house. Shine the spotlight on your people for their accomplishments. Yeah. Admit your mistakes and be kind to good people. The list is long, but surprisingly difficult to execute. A leader's duty. Last one. Trust in and public expectations for the armed forces remain higher than most any other organization in the country. But the manners of our profession will continue to be tested and strained in today's challenging times by both external threats to our country and divisions within our society. True statement. The country needs leadership and public servants more than ever. Again, just the public servants thing really hits politicians to me. I don't know about you. You let me know. But when I hear public service, I'm a little triggered. And I think politicians, and we don't need more fucking politicians. Okay? We don't. We don't. We need actual public servants, not politicians. But I'm reading it and it triggers me to think the same thing. I believe in inculcating the three bases of service, leadership, and humility into our organizational frameworks. Will provide much needed reinforcement to our nation and people we serve. Okay, yep, that's it. That's all I got, y'all. Yeah, we still going. We're a little slow on the episodes. a lot of stuff going on around the house. Real busy with work schedule. We got some underway time coming up soon. We'll be out doing that. So we're getting back into the rhythm of things. Unfortunately, in January, I will be on deployment sometime. How I'm going to get episodes out, I don't know. Stay tuned. That might just go back to full audio. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be trying to take all the gear, where I'm going. Yeah, y'all know. If you listen and you in any military branch, y'all know how it is. It's going to be tough. Might be able to work something out. We'll see. But until then, just stay tuned. If you're watching it on YouTube, appreciate you. Don't forget, give me the finger. All right. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about some of this stuff. The link of this article will be in the description in the show notes. We're streaming everywhere you listen to your podcast. All right. And cool. That's it, man. For more information on how you can support the podcast, please visit anchor.fm/Bravo Zulu podcast. The information, views, and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely of myself, Joshua Moore, and the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the DoD, DON, or those of the respected institutions or organizations. Thanks for joining us.